always, when you join me here, you are one of my treasures. Welcome to what I like to call Area 5T1, where we do discuss the 5Ts, where we talk about transition, triathlon trends, teaching slash tips, and tracks. Um, Today, as you can see, I am dressed up in my Padre gear. Did buy this Padre uh, jersey when I was in San Diego in the past week. That's why you may not have seen as many streams from me as usual this past weekend and previously, but uh, I'm back. So we will have our usual live streams. So welcome. I do see someone is on here. I'm just trying to jump on. I try to do my makeup according to match my outfit. So we'll probably be on for a couple of hours. I do need to get to bed for work tomorrow. I'll be back from a week's vacation. So welcome, Lily. Welcome to the stream. I do want everyone. Thank you, Kaylee, and welcome. Yeah, it's my San Diego Padres gear. I thought I'd put it on. I even did my makeup to match. I did brown eyeliner with like a golden eyeshadow, and I had some brown lipstick, so I thought I'd go. Um, Hi, Lily. Welcome. Um, as always, I do want to say we do have a merch store. I will put that in the description so people can jump in there. I know there's some purchases that were made recently. All, 20% of that will go to charities. Uh, Really, I don't even use a specific brand now. I do use Maybelline, the 120 shade of their foundation. Maybe I will do some get ready with me videos and I can show a little bit about that. LA Color does great with lipstick. You know, um, and some of the other makeup was really things that at first some friends had given to me. Um, as I started transitioning, because I did have to get advice, but along with doing makeup, to me, it was really a learning curve, having to learn on my own. Um, so, it was fun. It's just, it takes time. Um, I get that, Syrup. You don't think I can figure out what you're saying there? That is showing some racism and even maybe harassment to certain people. I think I'm gonna block you from the channel. Apples are life. Okay. Hello, Jonathan. Welcome to the stream. You're on with Jules. Remember, you are a treasure here. Everyone, remember, if you do any super sticker, super chats, 20% does go to three different charities. 10% will go to next year's where I go out and help the homeless. I will give them gloves, a beanie, mylar poncho. Hello, David, welcome. And socks. So each person will receive like a little care packet of all that. Um, So I do that. 10% or 5% goes to the Humane New Mexico where I got my dog, and the other 5% will go to Transgender Resource Center of New Mexico. So 20% goes to these organizations. Same with any purchases the uh, from my merch store. Um, there's been like about 4 new purchases on the merch store. Yeah, right here. I'll post the link to it here, and if you have to just copy and paste that into your browser and do that. Um, if it's not popping up in blue, but um, I do have merch. It's a lot of good designs. One of my mods, Lena, designed a lot of this stuff, and it came out fantastic. Some of it I've developed with AI on the Printify website, and I mean, it gave me what I was looking for. I have everything from t-shirts to blankets. Um, it doesn't let you copy. Can you just click on it? Because it looks like from my just then I would just go up into your browser dial or that's strange. Then I would just type into your browser Jules area 5T1 .printify.me, and it should take you there. Um, yeah, that's a little strange. I know I've had a lot of people ask me what is why it doesn't allow them to go in there. I don't know. So I'm trying to get it linked straight to where it'll come out uh, on YouTube, and as you guys are watching the YouTube video, you would be able to click on the merch, and some of it will be in the video description. There is blankets. I even have coffee in there. There's many different things. If you are in here, please do hit a like and subscribe to the channel. Yesterday we did hit our 1500 mark, which was great. I'm watching the analytics. Uh, uh, we did have a couple of people do some super stickers, and it helped our total for the month go up to about 137, which is great. That means, let's see, 10%, that's about 13, about $20 will go to charities. Um, so that was cool of everyone that has, but I still love all of my treasures. And that is anybody that is in here at this time. Um, it doesn't have to be just that you're a subscriber, it can be anyone. I also, there are memberships to the website. I think I will try to do some get ready with me videos soon. And I'm gonna do some on for the the membership. I'll do a lot of them on the membership, but I'll try to do some of them here um, on the site or on regular YouTube, and so everyone can see. I picked mine, and I'm gonna say it's always been a nickname used towards me. Um, so, and I'm changing the last name though. Um, so it That's basically how my uh, new name came around. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the stream. You're on with Jules. Remember, you are a treasure in here. Um, Welcome, Gina. Welcome to the stream. You are a treasure. Feel free to hit a like and subscribe to the channel. Also, any super chats and super stickers, 20% of what comes onto this channel does go to charities. So, especially 10% does go to help homeless. I don't give my details, and I'm actually past the age where I would be able to be in the military. Welcome, Mohammed. Actually, and I already work for the federal government. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the stream. You're on with Jules. If you guys, as you can see, add you to what little, which question, Mohammed? I don't see any questions. Well, thank you for the compliment there, chill guy. Because if it took only a couple of years, then you're complimenting me. Must like me. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the stream. You're on with Jules. As always, you are a treasure here. I live in the United States, Mohammed. You know, I am wearing my Padres gear today. If you guys want to just put on here, if you are, if you like sports, please, if you want to name off your favorite sports teams, like me, you know, Mohammed, I'm gonna say, yeah, I'm not gonna get in the middle of this discussion, but yesterday I had someone else uh, getting into the Israel thing, so I'm not gonna do that because I don't want to push any political agenda here. Yesterday I had someone on the other end of the spectrum on that, so um, I don't want any, to push any political spectrum that someone tells me to on here. Because I have subscribers from Palestine, I have Jewish subscribers on here, I have all kinds of subscribers. So I'm not going to push any agenda that someone wants me to put on here. And the way you're putting it is that's almost like, having me say it for subscription, you're basically, it's like blackmail. I'm not going to agree to anything. Hello, Shrekster. Welcome to the stream. You're on with Jules. As always, you are a treasure here. Feel free to hit a like and subscribe to the channel. Um, okay, bye, Mohammed. Well, thank you, Shrekster. What's up, Lily? I live in the U.S. I live in New Mexico. Billy, I do not have grandchildren. Go ahead, ask your question. Guys, if you wanna list your baseball team right now, like mine is the San Diego Padres. So go ahead and we can talk, your teams, whether it's just list your, baseball team, football, or um, so like I'm a Charger fan, I'm a Padre fan, and I used to even watch NASCAR before. But Jimmy Johnson did go on to IndyCar. I think he came back, had made a comeback to NASCAR, and he also does triathlon. So, which my five T's are transition triathlon because I like to participate in triathlon. I do talk trends, which are the different clothing and outfits I like to do. Um, Actually, I haven't watched rugby league, but I have watched rugby, and rugby is a rough sport. I then I do have a minor league baseball team here in town, and it's the Albuquerque Isotopes, so I do support them. Welcome, Artie. Welcome to the stream. Gabby, welcome. Okay, that's cool. Yeah, like me, I'm originally from San Diego, so I support the Padres. We used to have Chargers there, so I stuck with the Chargers, although they moved to Los Angeles. And Lily, you can ask questions as long as they, are respectful questions. Oh, that's cool, Gabby. You want to be a moderator, is what you're saying. And I have seen some rugby leagues here, it looks like. They're trying to make it in here. Um, well, let's wait a few. I know, Lily, you were here yesterday. I know you've been here at least one other time. Let's give it a couple more times and you know, and then let me see how much more I need in moderators. Um, because yeah, sometimes I don't get as many as like yesterday I had. Don't say sorry. It's just I have to. Yes, we have the NFL, and that's big here. I mean, even this past weekend was when they draft everybody for the class. Hey, former, welcome. Uh, it's been a rough week on my Padres. Hey, Chica, welcome to the stream. Please do hit a like, subscribe to the channel, everyone. Uh, just consider super stickers. Like I said, 20% what goes into any revenue that comes onto the channel goes to charity. Um, Whether it's here or on the merch store. So what I'm getting is that I don't know if you can get the hyperlink to click over or just copy what it says on there to another browser. You can't copy and paste it from what I understand, so you might just have to type it in on another window on your web browser. Yeah, so what I'm saying, just go to your web browser and put Jules, Jules, no space, just put Jules, LES, AREA 5T1 dot printify dot me. And it should let you that way. Welcome, Carmelo. Okay, good, good. What do you mean, what's my message? My channel's basically open to everybody. Oh, Space Frog, I forgot to display it again. Um, no, I've thought about it a few times. How did I come up with my YouTube account name? Well, so how at first I named it, I was using a different, I was going to start off with a different name. And I think I started off calling my channel, I think it was like Jules Gems or something like that. So then I decided to call everyone my treasures, because it was, I was trying to find a name. And hello, Tay, welcome to the stream. And then the Area 5T1 is because it is like Area 51. It sounds like it. 51 is a very common number in my life. There's many reasons. I actually had an office at one of my jobs, and they nicknamed it Area 51. So, um, so I just went along and got, the name that way. Um, I wanted to have a nickname for my, viewers, so I went with Treasures. A lot of people will call them different things, and I felt it was a way to compliment you guys for being on here. And the Area 5T1 goes along with what I always talk about, the 5 Ts. I worked I worked as a beach lifeguard on the shores of San Diego. I worked let's see, I worked at SeaWorld. I worked as a road medic. Um, let's see, I'm trying to think. I worked at a pharmaceutical research company. Um, Good evening, Tin Man. Welcome to the stream. Um, and I was an ER nurse. Welcome, Batman. Welcome to the stream. Um, I worked as an ER nurse, then went on to become a primary care nurse at the VA. If you're just joining us on the stream, please do hit a like and subscribe to the channel. Everyone is welcome here. Please do keep comments respectful towards everyone. Um, so, let's just also consider, yeah, nursing's a great field to be in, and I'm just not going to push it because that's the field I'm in, but it's one of those fields that next year, if I wanted to go to a different type of nursing, I could. Um, there's so many aspects to nursing that one can um, practice in that one year you can be an ER nurse and the next year be an OR nurse or ICU or primary care, anything like that. So uh, that's what's cool about nursing. Actually, I'm an LPN, but I work for primary care in the VA. And hello everyone and welcome. I'm a nurse, Midu. What are you? Okay, I'm a transgender woman. James, why would you report Midu? There's no reason to report. Yeah, I don't understand why they would report you. Exactly. I mean, um, hey, Pocket, how are you doing? Welcome to the stream. Thank you, Pocket. Um, Thank you. Yeah, I was just in San Diego during the week. I arrived yesterday back home, and um, I'm playing moderator right now, Lily. So, and so I arrived yesterday. I bought the jersey in San Diego. The hat I had from last time I flew out there, which was in June. I've already had. Okay, Midu, now we can, we'll discuss this, but yes, I've gone to therapy. And my therapist was the one that finally said that I actually needed to start transition due to my gender dysphoria. It's too late for what, Midu? It's the fact that people see. this is what I don't get. Why people worry about what is 1% of the population, you know? Maybe transgender people make up 1% of the population. So, like yourself, you worry about being about 1%. 99% of the population, whether it's in the United, whether you're in the US or throughout the world, is not trans. So you worry about the 1%. What do you think they're going to do to the rest of the other 99%? Oh, I know, Lily. So yeah, I'm going there, Lily, because obviously he's one that's stereotyping a person by who they, how they feel, um, and don't understand. So let's report harassment. Um, harassing me. Okay, guys, try not to chat on this. Oh, okay, he should be gone. Let me see. He should probably be gone off the stream. I did report him for harassment and bullying. Correct, Dangly? I mean, being trans is 1% of the population. So I don't know why people worry about us. You know, maybe it's a compliment. I mean, it's a compliment the fact that it's 1% of us and that, they have some kind of concern that, it's, I know there have been a couple, you know, like, I know like one mass shooter, I think there's been one that's ever been trans and they probably made it more of a deal than, um, than the ones that were straight, because they think it was, something in the agenda. So, yeah, I know it. There's people that, um, and it's all it's really more of their political agenda. Hello, Kendom. Welcome to the stream. You're on with Jules. Remember, you are a treasure here. Um, I'm not a big Swiftie. I mean, she got some good songs, but I'm not. I'd rather sit down and listen to some 80s music. But I'm not just a, you know, first of all, her boyfriend plays for the Kansas City Chiefs that are rivals to my favorite football team. So I mean, the Chargers. I don't call them by their city name anymore because I will still call them San Diego Chargers because that's where they should be. For college, Florida Gators. Hey, Cincinnati. Actually, when you go, um, really, I think you can start lives from the very beginning. Now, you have to make, ooh, the Buckeyes. That's what when my ex-wife would choose. Um, but yeah, my daughter's a Gator. She's actually getting her master's at U of F right now. I hardly ever listen to her music, Lily. The thing is, I'm more of an 80s person. I'm a Gen Xer. Uh, I'd rather sit down and listen to 80s music all day because it was the best music of all time. Hello, Vlad. Um, Vlad, I don't think you understand how we feel. But it's not the equivalent of cutting off our own. It's not cutting off our own hand. Um, well said, ones. Um, I think you need to look into more into what we do for surgery than what you perceive. And I think, Vlad, you're also looking at in something that's been instilled into you. Obviously, you're taking this in a biblical sense, and most people that are taking it in a biblical sense have been raised in a high control, high demand type of religion or faith. And another thing, Vlad, it's just not something that you did just wake up and feel someday. You don't just say, "Oh, I'm just going to become a woman today." It's something that's there inside of you throughout your life, and little things start uh, telling you. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the stream. You're on with Jules. Just remember, you are a treasure here. Please do hit a like and subscribe to the channel. Do consider leaving any super stickers, super chats. Those do don't or 20% is donated to helping homeless people, Albuquerque, Humane New Mexico, and and the Transgender Resource Center here in New Mexico. $10% will go towards during the winters. I do go out and last year was beanies and gloves. I was handing out to the homeless. You know, I would go out. There's actually videos on my stream. So this next year, my plan is to. I still have some beanies and gloves left over. I think about 15 pairs. So what I'm gonna do this year, I'm gonna make care packets. What I'm gonna do is put beanies, gloves, uh, like a rain jacket that has Mylar. Um, you know, it's Mylar lined, so it's nice and warm. I will also give, you know, nice and keep them nice and warm. Um, so that's fine, Lily. We'll be here. I'll try to do a 2 hour. Then what faith do you belong to? One's I do plan on getting a tragus piercing on each ear. And then finishing on all this off as a sleeve. Yeah, because I use I okay, but you only have one piercing per ear. I have double piercings. I actually did them myself. And then the third one I want on each ear will have to be done by a professional because the tragus is, you know, obviously all cartilage, so I'll have to go through there. It'll be, I'll have to go to a professional piercer. But I think that's all I would do on the ears. But okay, thank you. We've hit 10 likes. Um, but Vlad, let's look at the scientific perspective. There is proof by the Journal of the American Medical Association and several other organizations that there is uh, imbalances in the brain that do cause people that misalign with their gender assigned at birth. So that's what causes problems, and you get, you know, you do go to someone before they, you know, you do get any of the surgery to make sure that that's what it is. I went to a therapist and they diagnosed me with gender dysphoria, and I started taking hormones. You know, it's not like boom, like, you know, they cut things off or do surgery right away. You first have to start one with uh, going to therapy. Two, you have to, next thing is you 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 start on hormone therapy, which blocks the testosterone and raises your estrogen. And then they can put you also on a second form of female hormones to help along the journey. Yeah, it probably is painful ones, but I really liked it when my ex-wife actually got it, and I liked it. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the stream. You're on with Jules. Feel free to hit a like and subscribe. Um, and many of the side effects are also known, Vlad. It does stop the hormone production of the the testosterone, which is healthy for the person with the gender dysphoria, which, some people may have imbalance enough or dysphoric enough where they, do some people get to the point of where they do want to harm themselves. I've never been at that point, but some people do. And there are known side effects. They do watch for that. They monitor your hormone levels. They do what is necessary to prevent any side effects that would be uh, harmful. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the stream. Looks like we're having a quiet stream here. Um, Today, my last day of vacation. I did go to San Diego um, to visit my mom. Had a great time. I'm on the verge of possibly looking at moving there. My daughter may be moving out that way, so I think I'm gonna consider it. So I'll just, I'm gonna have to. It's gonna take time to find a job through my work out in San Diego. So um, I'm gonna really, really consider and take a stab at getting a job out there. The good thing is my job, it's like a straight transfer. It's the same, what we call a vision. Uh, so it's like being at a same district with the same organization. I work for the Department of Veterans Affairs. I'm a nurse, and and it would be easy to transfer. I'm gonna step away real quick for a drink. I'm gonna be right back. Oh, San Diego is a great place. It's the biggest balance of everything. So I left San Diego, moved to Florida, then moved out here just in the past year and a half. So I've liked it. Well, you got to weigh the pros and the cons, Vlad. Um, yeah, I'm in great physical condition. So, I do triathlon. So there's three sports that I do. Um, and, it helps balance out, other things. So, there, you know, you may have your way you look at things. We have our, us in the trans community, or even the entire LGBTQ community, um, have different ways of looking at who we are. Tell me, how would you solve someone that is intersex? So they're born with both, um, sets of sex organs. How would you solve that? Are you going to leave it up to the parents when the kid is young? Because there's been concerns that what happens is if the parents choose for the child, then the child grows up and then both sets of hormones still in there, that they don't feel that the gender that the parents chose for them. So, that could be another concern you can look at. Thank you very much, Darren H., for the $5 in Canadian, $5. We appreciate that support and the like. Thank you very much. Everything should be on a case by case basis, Vlad. And okay, sounds good, Darren. But the super chat is greatly appreciated. Um, Maurice, that is not necessary in here. Uh, and everything, yes, should be on a case by case basis. That's why people do go to therapy at first before transitioning. But also, I feel that it should be left up to the person when they're about, at the age of what you would call an age of accountability. Um, so, when they're 18, actually, right now in the United States, it has been said that it would be 19. I actually agree with that. I think that the person should be at an age where they can make decisions for themselves. Um, there's underage people that have, um, you know, in the past made their own decisions. So right there is one place where I would account. Hello, everyone, and welcome. Please do leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Which one about the age of 19? Yeah, I think that's already been put in an executive order. And you know what? I think for me, it is that you should leave it to the person that is going to transition, but they should be at what you would call an age of accountability. I think there's too many times that, why do you say, why do I like Corellia? I'm a transgender woman, off brand. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the stream. Please do leave a like and subscribe. I would talk about them. One's, you know, that's kind of iffy. I think I knew before it used to be 18 for a tattoo. So, but nowadays I think they should still wait till they're accountable. So I think it should be at 18 where they can make their own decisions. Yeah, I would talk about the sports gender issue. I think that they should probably make a third category on that. Um, what I really think is, and I know I have one sub here and she does powerlifting. She is trans. She is a woman now, but did transition, has had every surgery, everything. So now fully a woman, and she does powerlifting and can still lift more. So she and I have both really discussed that and found that it is probably one that maybe they should have a different category for trans women, and maybe um, they should have, you know you know and for trans men. Well, it is called gender dysphoria. It means feeling uncomfortable in your own body. There is no other explanation, Vlad. Um, what's my take on which one? Oh yeah, I'll like I said, I'll talk about sports gender issues. I really feel that there should be another category just made from there. A male to female category and a female to male category. Darren, state funded individual education attention. What do you mean by that, Darren? Um, Actually, Lori, I think that a 12-year-old should uh, go to, if they feel dysphoric, they should be able to seek therapy. But until they're able to make their own decision about transitioning, then they can transition. So that should be 18 or 19. I know right now they've changed the age to 19. I mean, what I'm seeing right now is so many people nowadays being diagnosed with ADHD. It was very rare as I grew up. It's um, now it's become a mainstream thing. So, you know, I and even autism. Well, that's the thing, Lori. There are very passable women, and you probably wouldn't be able to tell if they went in a locker room. So, are you going to make locker rooms for trans women, trans men? So, are you going to make someone that's completely transitioned uh, go to the men's room where they can, turn around and be abused or harassed? That's true. One's about not any funding. They are cutting funding at my work, and I work for a government agency. Then, but what, you know, so you're saying if now they've had every surgery and they are passable, that they shouldn't be able to change anywhere? So that's unfair to them. So what happens when the men in the locker room find out this is a trans female and then end up harassing them? Or hey, Brantley, welcome to the stream. No, you don't understand how we feel, though. I believe I remember your name popping up in the channels before. Brantley, I know you haven't been here in a while. We are now uh, at a monetized state. If you want to give us super sticker, super chat, that is welcome. 20% does go to charity. Correct ones, they could just create trans bathrooms. Welcome, Wiley. Welcome to the stream. Please do hit a like, subscribe to the channel. Now, Lori, in what you're saying, if the people shouldn't have done it, uh, it should. Are you? Well, well, Vlad, I don't know what would cause someone to be, you know, change in their gender if with what's gone on in their life. Uh, if you look up the main channel, you should be able to hit it there, Brantley. I don't know how it looks on your end on the screen. I don't know if it's usually at the bottom or on top. I know you can double tap to hit a like. Um, looks like, yeah, it looks like you subscribed. We're up to 1509. We were at 1505 when we started. If you're on your smartphone. Okay, and just know that thank you ones. Yeah, we've gotten like what are we on? I'm looking at the analytics. That's why you suddenly see the white. So as far as subs, we've added 5 new subs. We that means yesterday we were broke the 1500 barrier. At the beginning of the year, we were at less than we were at 500 or less. Lori surgeries are going to start this year. First one will be bottom surgery. Also, just so those that have been here before, just so you know, the channel has now received the ability to receive super stickers and super chats. If you do want to know, if you do leave a super chat, I will read it word for word. You do that by just clicking on the little $ button here. 20% of what is collected on that does go to charities. 10% to warming up the homeless during the winter here in Albuquerque, where it does snow, and that's what we call a friend of mine and I have made, and we call it Rapture 505. But we mean like instead of like the Rapture, it's biblical event. We made it our own event, and we put it with a W, so it's like wrapping a person, and we go out do the work and how wrap them up, give them. We're gonna give mylar lined poncho or mylar lined coats next year. Give them beanies, gloves, and socks. And even some another thing that's really the homeless. We did this past year. I gave beanies and gloves, but one thing they asked for is hand sanitizer. And I will get large bottles of hand sanitizer. They like the hand sanitizer mainly because they will do small bonfires on the side of the road to stay warm, and that's what they use it for. But yeah, bottom surgery is what I'm gonna start getting. I'm gonna go get my consult for. I will have to get lots of laser done. And then pretty much my legs, no more hair on them. I have to get my chest lasered and finish off my face. Then I will probably do facial feminization surgery, and then see how much more breast tissue I I grow within the next couple of years, because they say that's the part that continues to grow for a while. It says about 3 years before you get full breast growth on hormone replacement therapy. Hello and welcome to the stream, everyone. Please do leave a like and subscribe if you're just joining us here. We have met our 10 likes, which is usually our first goal. Then we like to go up in increments of 5. We've had a pretty good conversation going here. Everyone is welcome as long as we, as long as we see that comments are kept respectful. Some of the, I will say some of the things that I try to minimize in here are comments of people bringing in their faith or their or religious views, because one, I know it starts arguments amongst certain, other people that are in the chat. Also, I have some subs with religious trauma, so that's I keep that. If not, I mean, I've just deconstructed from religion. I no longer believe in any I belong to two of the biggest churches here in the United States, probably one that's the richest church in the world. And I no longer belong to it. I recently deconstructed and left. Actually, I actually do belong to a church of atheism now. So I have deconstructed and no longer believe in God. Alicia, it's not anything that I went through with humans. It's just that I found that churches do teach hate, and that hate is derived about their belief in God. So that's plain and simple. Because here, churches will teach hate against certain, marginalized communities, such as the LGBTQIA plus. They will, teach hate against other churches. They will teach that they're the only well-said ones. Others will say that they're the only one true church. I had someone say that they were God's chosen people yesterday, and that that's what we told them. That's why we try to keep the religious talk down here. I mean, if you put it in there, I'm not afraid to talk it, but I am worried about people on my channel that have religious trauma. And some of these are my longtime subscribers, and I just don't want them to be triggered by anything. And I'll tell you that yes, with faith and religion. I saw that at one point. Okay, I do plan on having, what they call a vaginoplasty. Well, that is one thing they won't be able to do is have periods or give birth. Um, but there are other things with that one can obviously do as with as having as being born a woman. Hello everyone and welcome to my stream. What do you mean you? Alicia, actually there's a lot of people within religions and what they do is what their faith has taught them to do. They're being programmed and a lot of them use it to love bomb you and everything to end up following you in their faith. And and a lot of faiths, I'm not going to I can point out the one I belong to was the Mormon Church, was the last one I belonged to. It's a cult, flat out put into the bite model of authoritarian control. It's a cult. Well, Lori, uh, they can do an inversion. They can do what's called a vaginoplasty, and you can have obviously intercourse like a woman, but it would not be um, obviously not the same. Maybe you should look up videos on what they do. What if they take it out? Do a full hysterectomy. I know someone that chose to have that done, and she was straight to cisgender woman. I was married to her, and she didn't want children, so just had it taken out. Found the doctor that would do it, had it taken out. Got herself spayed, no problem. Does that not make her a woman? Well, it depends on the state. I'm in a sanctuary state, so they would do it here. So I used to live in Florida, and good old Governor DeSantis did pass an executive order that had to stop all HRT pretty much for 18 and under, but there were little clauses in there that said that we, as adults, we couldn't receive it. And then, I think from nurse practitioners, it had to be a doctor, and it just basically put a bunch of hurdles in it, so I had to stop. And then I moved out here to New Mexico. New Mexico is a sanctuary state, and you can still have um, all types of, you can have transition, gender affirming surgeries done out here. And actually, the there's two docks nearby. Um, yeah, California should be good. I do have my friend that's had every surgery done, augmentation, vaginoplasty, everything, and it was done in California. Now, um, from here, my nurse practitioner is giving me HRT. She does state that the closest doctors to here, one is in Arizona and one's in Colorado. Colorado is a blue state. I think Arizona is a red. Um, but he continues to do gender affirming surgeries. I hear he's really good too. He's one of the best in the United States. Yeah, so I mean, I'm gonna, start getting a consult there, and maybe fly out there and, and get things checked out. Um, because bottom surgery definitely eliminates from having to take testosterone blocker, because then they remove the prostate, which secretes a lot of testosterone. Or really signals the pituitary gland to send it out. But if you break that part of the negative feedback loop or positive feedback loop, it will stop producing it. So then you take the your estrogen supplements and that works. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the stream. Remember, you're on with Jules. You are considered a treasure here. You're in what we call Area 5T1, where we do discuss the 5Ts. We discuss transition. We talk about triathlon. We talk trends. We talk teaching slash tips. And within that category, I do talk about my deconstruction for the Mormon Church. I talk about certain, I do talk about some of my recipes that I like to cook. I talk about another one I just started was about urban myths. And I do talk in that one. What is my last one? Okay, I talk cooking. Oh, and survival tips. As I used to live in Florida and we had to be prepared for hurricane. Um, and then my last one is trucks, where I do discuss my resto mod of my 2008 Nissan Xterra four-wheel drive. It is a manual transmission. I will be restoring and modifying it. So yeah, just welcome to the stream. Feel free to hit a like, subscribe. We've had one viewer, Darren H, contribute 5 Canadian dollars to the stream today, which is greatly appreciated, as 20% of that will go to charity. The other 80 do go to improving the channel. With whether it's new equipment, cameras, or another. I do want to add a second monitor to the computer here, um, or just more towards what the channel is about, so we can add more content and better content. Then we can, just film better videos for all of you. That's what all whatever revenue we make goes to. We have been doing great this year. We are at 1,510 subs. I know usually after I close down the stream, some people unsubscribe, which is okay. We just want to take things and go up slowly. At the beginning of the year, we were right under 500. We were trying to reach that 500 mark, and then the 1,000 mark, the 1,000 mark, which brought us to um, to where we are now monetized. So that is great to see. Everybody's being quiet right now, so I just do want to say, everybody seems to have left. In the past week, I had been in California, was in San Diego. Obviously, I got my Padres gear. They didn't play during the week at over there at Petco Park. Welcome, David. Welcome to the stream. You're on with Jules. How are you today? Frisky, I am a transgender woman, so I identify as a woman. Thank you. Welcome. Do hit a like and subscribe if you'd like to. If you are new in here, please do consider just, dropping a super sticker if you want to. 20% of any revenue here does go to charity. Which 10% of that, half of that 20% goes to actually during the winter, I will go out and hand out beanies, gloves, a mylar lined coat to and socks to the homeless. And then 5% does go to the rescue where I adopted my dog, and another 5% will go to Transgender Resource Center of New Mexico. All nonprofit organization. Obviously helping the homeless is just it's actually, I do it. My dog's name is Tommy, but it's Thomas. He doesn't even wake up because he's deaf. He's a Dalmatian mix, and unfortunately Dalmatians have this tendency to be deaf. He's back there sleeping. I had been gone for a week, so my friend watched him, and I showed up from the airport. My Uber dropped me off, and I opened the door. He was sleeping, and touched him, because that's what you do to wake him up, if you pet him really quick. And then he woke up and was so excited to see me. Actually, I started deconstructing my religion my religious views before I came out. Well, Bill, I wouldn't say it's any of that because uh, I just didn't come out when I was younger. I was raised in a world where, I was raised, I was raised Catholic. And the Catholic, I remember going to Catholic school and it was taught against. Two, I was brought up in a very macho family because I am of Mexican descent. And three, then I moved on to going to the Mormon church, which was very anti LGBTQ. And well said, Frisky. Coming out is not an easy thing, Bill. Um, it's a tough thing. It's easy for you to say and throw out all these terms, but you have not lived it. And I have lived it, and I am also a medical professional, and I know how other people go through this, and I can actually empathize with them. So come out here and put whatever terminology you want on here and try to make yourselves look smart, but I'm not broken. Actually, I was probably broken, felt broken, not coming out. And if you start looking at this, you put emotionally broken, physiologically, physiologically. I mean, right when you put the emotional part, I don't know if you follow any type of faith or religion, you're already putting part of the bite model here. So I suggest maybe you study Dr. Stevens Hassan bite model of authoritarian control, and it looks like you're following right into that. Um, uh, I just that's what we my friend named it the Church of Korhor. We do our place of worship would be here on the internet. We haven't purchased buildings, but we're trying to find a way to do that. Actually, we may get our first building, and of all places, will be in Salt Lake City, Utah, where our 501 501(c) is in Utah. So we have formed a tax exempt uh, Church of Atheism. Well said, Frisky. Yeah, the culture, like when I was in Catholic school, I remember they would say, well, being gay is bad, and that was just in those times it was mainly just gay that was brought up, and it's a sin, and this and that and the other, and okay, so basically, you can be an atheist or agnostic. Um, and basically, we just do have, there's, like, we accept everyone, especially, uh, you know, there's like 12 basic beliefs that are in there. You could actually go to I'm going to put the page in here. I believe it is core org. Oh, wait. That should be the site where you can go and check it out. It's called the Church of Korihor. Um, if not, just uh, Google it. Right now, like I said, we do um, all of our sermons on YouTube. I have actually done two sermons, and I was right about the site. I'm just gonna copy and paste it right in there. Yeah, this is the exact right off the site. But I have done two sermons on there, and they're just random things you can talk about. I talked about arrows and the significance of arrows in our life. Um, I talked about this next one. I talked about different ways of relieving stress, and I was looking up because I do have what an arrow means in our life up on my wall, but it basically has that significance of how life can pull you back at times, uh, with many stressors and things, and then as life can only pull you back so far, like an arrow, uh, then you'll only move forward and much faster. So, and that's basically what I kind of based my sermon as on the Church of Korihor. Um, we have no scripture. Um, we actually do have hymns. Actually, though they're actually pretty cool. Um, Hello, Edip. Welcome to the stream. You're on with Jules. As always, you are a treasure here. Please do drop a like, subscribe to the channel. If you uh, also know, if you do drop if you drop I'm a Padre fan. That's what it is, Yankee Crusader. Um, if you drop a super sticker, 20% is donated to charities. Mainly the to helping get the homeless out of the cold during the winters here in Albuquerque. Okay, Frisky, what do I do for fun? Some of the things, well, obviously, I do like to watch sports. I do like to baseball and football. My favorite teams, which is something I brought up today. I talked about favorite teams. So you guys can see, I grew up in San Diego. Might be moving back there soon. But I do love the San Diego Padres. I'm still a Charger fan after they moved to Los Angeles. Um, I watch NASCAR also. I'm a Jimmy Johnson fan. I know he had gone back to NASCAR for a couple years. I don't know if he's still there. Um, I like to do triathlon myself. I like to participate in triathlon. Um, I also like to participate in archery. I even like to go to the gun range from time to time. That's a little bit of my, you can say, my see, I'm an independent person, so I don't think all right or left. So I'm right in the middle. So I like to go to the gun range. So I don't mind, you know, I have my firearms. I will go and shoot paper. So there's lots of things. I like to go hiking. I have my dog here. He loves to go hiking with me. Well, if out of respect for a Christian couldn't prove to you that God is real, uh, well, first of all, when it comes to God, I like to I like to say that seeing is believing. Okay, uh, so if you can show me God in the flesh, as we were all created in His image. Don't think I didn't study Scripture. Um, if you can show me God in the flesh, then I would believe you. But I can show you what I'm taking that is helping me transition, and that I was I have gone to therapy, and that has helped me find out that I'm truly, uh, diagnosed with gender dysphoria, and you know, that I was recommended to transition. Yeah, Frisky, there's a lot of activities I like to do. And I'm currently doing that resto mod on my Nissan Xterra. It is my daily driver. So I like to do the work as much as I can on the weekends. Especially now it's getting warm again. So I've got one sensor I do need to change. One, so I can pass emissions. Two, so from time to time it stalls on me. Um, it's a camshaft position sensor. And I have the part. I've had it for a while, and it's just that haven't, I didn't have the wrench long enough to get to it. Now I do. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the stream. Please do hit a like and subscribe. Well, first of all, when Christians ask me that question, first of all, I say, you would have to bring me God in the flesh so I could see Him right in front of me. Supposedly, we were all created in His image. And, science has brought about a way for a man that it does have gender dysphoria to become a woman. So, same with a woman that wants to become a man. So, I can show you what I am taking to the steps I take to go there. But you can't bring me God in the flesh. Seeing is believing. No, but see, David, what you don't understand is that you guys say he's real because, okay, you say you see God because you believe in him, but you don't see him. So you just believe in him. That's believing is seeing. I'm saying seeing is believing. I would have to see him in front of me in person. Because we can find his, that is because we can find evidence of his bones and his DNA. But no, David, and here comes everything that I said earlier, because now we're gonna get, and you know what? Today I will continue until my subscribers that have had religious trauma. But first of all, it comes to this simple thing. I don't. No, first of all, I have said that I believe they should do a separate category for trans women. Reagan, okay, so let's think of what God did then. God created Adam out of dust. Then out of Adam, he created Eve. So that means Eve and Adam would have the same DNA. Therefore, Eve would actually be a trans form of Adam. No, that is logic because it never says that God changed DNA there. Because I've had a lot of people, because he used Adam's rib to create Eve. Therefore, what was in Adam's bones would have created Eve. Yes, so Eve was a transgender form of Adam. The law is, I don't believe in God. I've never seen him. I've never seen anything he's done. I've seen people get better things by people that are atheists. I go out, when I was a believing Mormon or even a believing Catholic, I would never do better than what I do now. I go out and not blanket the homeless, but get them warm during the winter time. I'm not ignoring you. I've answered your question. So I could be a non-believer and I can go out and do good works. She was trans because it was the same bone. If you take a male bone, it has the same DNA and it was created a woman, so therefore a trans woman. Now, you know, the whole Trinity thing about God being Jesus and the Holy Spirit, that's a whole other thing because so many religions change that it is, you know, I don't believe in any of those. Those are the worst excuses there, because then there's the Adam God theory in Mormonism. There's the Trinity thing where all three are one, and I mean it's all, you know, crossed over too much. No, I have been there. I have been through Catholic school. I have been, what, I was in the Mormon church for 30 years. I have seen all that. So don't think I haven't studied. Well, that's because they actually clean out the blood there. You can get a pig's one too. Would that make you a trans pig? Hello, Joshi. Welcome to the stream. Well, that's what you think, Regan. Um, I'm not bashing on Christ. I'm just saying that I don't believe in him. I have never bashed on him. I just say I don't believe. I don't believe in God. I don't believe in Christ. And that took time for me to deconstruct. It wasn't just that one day I woke up, you know what, I don't believe. No, I did deconstruct. I followed facts. I put things on things that I researched, and I would put them on a shelf and just leave it alone. I said, you know, I grew up being a God believer, Jesus believer, whatever. I kept, oh, yeah, I see this in science. Put it on the shelf. I see this on the shelf. Eventually, my shelf broke. And Regan, it's just not just the Mormon point of view. I was also Catholic. I grew up in the Catholic Church, went to Catholic school. Yes, I have, Regan. Actually, I have. You have a good night, Frisky. I know this is probably everything that it became exactly what we didn't want here. All the Jesus believers coming in. Um, if anything, if you go to my, you know, to the channel, to this, to the Church of Korihor, I think we call it the light of reason. It just basically talks about the COAS. Do you know what the COAS is? It was the system which helped guide Apollo 13 back in. I'm just follow my way. I would say there's no God. I don't judge anybody. Um, I just go about my life. I come in here and then people come in and judge me because I'm a trans woman. Oh, welcome, Avita. Welcome to the stream. There are scientific ways that it was been proved. You know, Big Bang, stuff like that. There are many theories. Yes, it's Sunday. Guys, I just gotta check on my car here. There's a lot of stuff going on out here. Okay. Lots of noise going on out there. But something or nothing is something. How about that? I know, but if you think about it, nothing is something. You can't just have nothing. Can you have nothing in thoughts in your head? Because you're always thinking of something. Even if you're thinking of nothing, you're thinking of nothing, which is something. Ah, you got them, Avita. Um, Next month, Avita. Creation wise, like I said, I believe like in evolution and all that. You can prove it in science that, you look at all the sedimentary rock and all that. I believe in basically in in all the scientific stuff that I've studied over time. Hello, Sandra. Bye, Sandra. Yeah, can't wait, girl. I'm excited to meet you in person. This first month of monetization has been great. We are now at 136.91, and someone gave about 5 Canadian dollars today, so it came out to 4 in US dollars. Probably after. I don't believe in Jesus. Um, because if they say Jesus really existed, okay, I know a lot of people will tell me that, and there's lots of scientific evidence of proving at it. But everybody wants to say that Jesus was the Son of God. If I don't believe in God, why would I believe that Jesus who lived was the Son of God? Look, I know that some archaeologists, found, like, say, the Dead Sea Scrolls. The Dead Sea Scrolls, let's first look at the Bible. First of all, who organized the scriptures that were put in the Bible? I don't have a skirt on today, actually. Or the other days I will, or a dress. But if we really look at who put the Bible together, it was a pagan. It was a pagan named Constantine at the Council of Nicaea. Many books of the Bible, were left out. What happened, to Adam's other wife, Lilith? Hey, Lily. Yeah, but I'd rather believe in the evidence that is hard evidence. You're you're just throwing out there, the other side of the topic. But I'm looking at the hard evidence. It's my dog, Lily. He's a Dalmatian mix, if you want to know. I haven't read Emerald Tablets. You know, as far as scripture, I have read the Old and New Testament. I have read the Book of Mormon, what's called the Doctrine and Covenants, the Pearl of Great Price. Now I'm reading books. I have been, I'm actually, I teach a series called, on my channel, I'm talking about my deconstruction. I'm also teaching the basics of what from my Mormon deconstruction, I talk about what are gospel principles and what is taught. Um, I teach about what their base are, you know, uh, and then I also, um, you know, I'm gonna start reading some other books that have to do with my deconstruction. I have read the Bite Model of Authoritarian Control. I actually have videos putting my faith deconstruction through the Bite Model of Authoritarian Control. So if you guys look up the Bite Model, another good thing to look at. No, I haven't looked at the consequences, and seeing that I don't believe in God, I don't believe there will be any consequences. And I do read, I do have several other books I want to read. After this one, I want to read one called No Man Knows My History. A lot of them are going into my faith deconstruction story, and on my on my channel. So you know, there's a lot of other books I have on the list. I also like dystopian type books. Um, but No Man Knows My History will probably be the next one, which will also be taught in that teaching slash tips. I just, I believe in what science teaches me. And I just go about my life and do good things for people. That one sounds interesting there. Because now that is something I do believe is in extraterrestrial life. I've actually seen, uh, to me the purpose of life is helping others. All my jobs I've ever had have been service oriented. So that is my way of looking at the purpose of life. You know, when I've been in any spiritual organization, believed in a spiritual being, is when I feel that things were harder. Because you were always trying to follow the rules. If not, then you would get in trouble. Now I live happy. I go and help others, not just at my work being a nurse, along on the outside. I buy stuff with like I said, any revenue I get here, 20% goes to charity, 10% of that I buy and purchase things. So when winter comes around, I can hand out stuff to keep the people, the homeless people, wrapped up. That's why I call it Rapture 505. But it's rapture like you're wrapping someone up. Yes, I love helping people. My first job was on the beach as a lifeguard. So like I said, any super chats or super stickers here, 20% goes to the fund to get gloves, beanies, socks, and see, that's the thing. I'm not doing them because it's based in faith. It's based because I want to do them. Hello, Jessica. Welcome to the stream. It's just what I want to do. It's not because it's based in faith or a religion. And like, um, is it Mama Hen that said here? I do it just because I want to be myself. And people here come in and Jessica, I am just in here. I'm, having a live stream on my channel, and people are trying to get my point of view on things. You know what? I just do them because that's what I want to do. I choose to do it. It's my free agency to do what I want. Um, it's like playing football, Someone can decide to go to a different team. I chose to not believe in God and but still do good things. Every ounce of what I give to the homeless comes right out of my pocket. And now, anything that comes off of my YouTube store or money I do get here or from it's giving in super chats, 20% goes to charity. Anything from my merch store goes to charity. So that's just right out of my pocket, you know. You know, pretty much nothing. I don't know if we get reincarnated as another being or what. Basically, my friend just came up with a great thing to do. Um, is basically uh, at death be able to, cremate someone, be able to put them on a weather balloon, um, and let it reach the atmosphere, putting a GoPro on it, and the ashes, as the balloon blows up and spreads your ashes, then a picture be taken by the GoPro, and then pretty much it come down and land very close it was where it was at. So I'm a transgender woman, Jessica. Oh, that's just my phone telling me to take my medication, which I will do after. We've got about 19 minutes left on the channel. Actually, that's one thing I know. My friend, one of my coworkers at when I worked at SeaWorld, her dad was a mortician, and she says sometimes they had to exhume bodies, and sure enough, some bodies would come out. Yes, you'd see the bones still, but they would decay, and some of them would just turn to liquid. Hello, Ern. Sounds cool. Um, I grew up Roman Catholic as Jessica did, but like I said, I no longer believe in any God or Jesus. I mean, I even had like when I went out to San Diego this weekend or this past week, I met up with my friends from Catholic school, and no judgment. They pass no judgment. I'm just to them. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. If God created us and created us in His own image, why does it happen? So, did He mean for it to happen? Tell me this. Hello, banana bread. Did He mean for sin to happen? Because without sin, you wouldn't have forgiveness. So therefore, Jesus wouldn't have had to come down. Isn't that true? Hello, Susan. Welcome to the stream. I'm not here to argue. I'm just saying I don't believe in Satan. Just like I don't believe in God, I don't believe in the opposing entity. And I'm not here to argue with any other person that is here to prove everybody wrong. But I'm just giving my rationale of what I believe in. But you guys gotta really look at it. The fall of Adam had to happen then, if there that for sin had to happen, so we would actually know good, because we would, Adam and Eve wouldn't know good if they didn't know bad. So when they ate off a true tree of knowledge, it was for a reason. Yeah, Ern, I know this is just my Bible thumping people that jump in here from time to time. So it was meant, God meant for, hello, Lily. God meant for Eve to eat from the tree of knowledge, because He wanted man to know good and evil, then he would have had to, then if man had not, if Eve had not, and Adam and Eve had not eaten from the tree of knowledge, there was no reason for Jesus to come down. So what if people like Adam and Adam, there's nothing wrong with that? No, there's nothing wrong with the LGBT, the lesbian, gay, trans, bisexual questioning community. There is nothing wrong with this. No, but Mama Hen, just look at it. God, Adam and Eve wouldn't have noticed that, but then sin wouldn't have happened. If sin wouldn't have happened, you would have no reason for Jesus. In the well said, Avita. You always, I love you putting in your 2 cents on all that. Guys, we got 12 minutes left. My stream has gone over by a half hour today, but I do need to get, uh, showered and, and done everything for work tomorrow. Well, banana bread, you just got to think about every angle of the Bible. That's what. Now, me, I'm a non-believer in God, but when I used to look at faith, that is a part of the deconstruction process. Is you got to look at every angle of the Bible. You guys just look at it one way, and that's it. But me, I've looked at it many ways, and that is one way, is looking that God created sin, so then he would have to send his son, Jesus, down to be forgiven, give his life for our sins. That's basically what the Bible says. Why do so many people put a decal on their car that says fear God? And it does state it in the Bible that God should be feared. First of all, I've been through two religions that look at it in many different ways. Um, Correct, Jessica. It doesn't matter. We are just people. That's why I don't believe in God or any religion. Because religions and Christians or whatever faith they believe, all they do is what they do is they teach you what you are saying here and teach you hate towards marginalized groups and other religions. Mama Hen, once again, I don't believe in hell because I don't believe in God or Satan. Well said, Ern B. We should just focus on. Well, Jessica, you're right there. We should just focus on each other and not. Uh, and if you follow God and that's how you say that He loves His children, then maybe you should consider loving all other people no matter what. Yeah, it would go extinct. Yes, Reagan, and that is what's called free agency. Lily, I may have to start uh, taking some of these people out of the channel because this is what one. I'm going to say one thing about that how it happens with it when the Bible pushers come in here. They do help the channel algorithm grow, um, but yet it does take the topics about what the channel is about away. Can you please define what? Ern can be serious about what she said. I say, to me, I look at it as beneficial because I can give you my opinions, but yet you you're giving, like I said, I have people that have religious trauma on here. Luckily, I haven't been on tonight, but many of you just come in here and say what I have chosen, basically how my life has gone is wrong, and um, and my beliefs are wrong, which is not true because I can have my own beliefs. I, you know what? Honestly, I work for the federal government. I don't even believe that Trump's running the country. Now, see, Avita is a good friend of mine, and she believes in completely different thing. And we can agree to disagree on that. I go into work every Monday, so tomorrow I will have to write down the 5 things I did last week. So I don't know if I have to put, I went to the beach in California, I went to Seaport Village, I had dinner at XYZ restaurant. Yes, it'll, correct, Abida. I wasn't hired on a DEI clause, but um, actually, well, that would be your belief, but it is against the law. Reagan, it's against the law. I mean, I can, if I went to court on anything and saying that I don't believe in God, I don't even have to put my hand on a Bible. Did you know that? I recently looked that up. Well, I'm not in those countries. Okay, everyone, and this is not just because I'm going to duck out of this conversation. Like I said, yes, from time to time, a conversation like this is okay. Uh, Other times, we would probably start just turning people. Um, yeah, I was Roman Catholic, and then I converted to Mormonism, and now I don't believe in God or Jesus or anything. So I'm an atheist, and I actually go to a church. I actually watch a Church of Atheism channel here. So if you guys ever want to watch it, I can post the link to it. Exactly, Avita. Sometimes we see, all this hateful, that we do see all this hateful stuff. One, it boosts the channel, it helps our algorithm. Uh, yeah, you can affirm that you'll tell the truth, but you don't have to have your hand on a Bible. You actually have the right to refuse the Bible if you are an atheist. Okay, guys, I'm actually going to have to close down shop. Um, well, thank you, Reagan. Please do like and subscribe. But I've been on here for 2.5 hours. I thought I was only going to do two. I mean, it has been an interesting conversation. Um, Guys, always consider doing. I thought I did read yours, Space Frog. Correct. So you thought you weren't accepted by everybody in the world, and you were gonna basically unalive yourself, but believing in yourself, you you ended that. Yeah, I saw it. Yeah. So Lily actually had. I remember. Yeah, and for everybody, spirituality is different. In nursing, I have to look at someone's spiritual side too. Um, and spirituality could be just, you know, you don't have to pray or anything. You can just do yoga, Pilates, whatever type of thing that is spiritual relief. Okay, yeah, they will make you do an oath, but they won't. If you're an atheist, you don't have to do it on a Bible. Well said, Ern. Yes, that's what I read. Mama Hen, and right when the conversation was good, you're going to end it with all that. Uh, Bye, everyone. Bye, Lily. Hope to see you. Tuesday will be my next live stream. I usually do what's called Transition Tuesday. Try to focus on transition on that one. Um, and then from there, I jump to Thursday and then do Friday, Saturday, Sunday also. Because Wednesdays, I usually watch our Wednesday sermon on the Church of Korhor at the Godless, watch our Godless sermon. So, I do want to thank everyone for being here. I do want to say, everyone here, always remember, if you are in a crisis, feeling down, depressed, or hopeless, uh, you know, feeling like you're having thoughts of hurting yourself, if you are a veteran and having a crisis, if you do dial 988, if you are a veteran, do hit 1. If you are worried about any drug or alcohol abuse, you can also use this line. Um, and I have had a member in my family that recently had a mental uh, crisis. It was a cousin of mine. This line was called. A team of people were called in, and she was assisted. And then also, if you just need to call and speak with someone. So just really, really, if anything, call 988. I believe UK it is 112. Okay, everyone, have a good night. Remember, you are on here with Jules. All of you are my treasures. And you are in Area 5T1. Bye.